What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Healthy Sleep Revolution podcast. My name is Dr. Meghna Dassani, and today we are going to be talking about melatonin. In the past week, I have had so many parents either ask about melatonin supplements, not just for themselves, but even for their children, or tell me that this is something that they take on a regular basis and just ask feedback, whether I approved of it or what my thoughts were with regards to it. So I'm going to take a few minutes to kind of give you my thoughts. As always, please just remember to talk to your doctors, your providers, your children's providers, whoever it is that you're seeing, before you decide what's right or not right, and listen to their recommendations. Okay. So we've all heard about melatonin. It's this new, it's not new, although it seems to be popping up more in our conversations, or at least the ones that I seem to have or hear. It's also something that's become more visible in our health food stores and our pharmacies, even when we go grocery shopping, right? This is something that you're seeing more and more melatonin supplements, bottles that are becoming or seem to be becoming more mainstream. And here's the thing. It is true that melatonin is naturally produced in our bodies, right? Melatonin is a hormone. Our body naturally produces it. If it is something that we choose to take as a supplement, we need to know is it going to have side effects? If so, what? How is it going to impact our bodies? Okay. So melatonin, like I said earlier, is a hormone that is produced in our brain by the pineal gland, it's a pea-sized gland in our brain. And what melatonin does is it helps to regulate our sleep and wake cycles. It tells our body when it's time to fall asleep, and when it reaches a specific level or drops to a specific level, it tells our brains it's time to wake up. This is our circadian rhythm. Our sleep-wake cycles are directly related to the darkness and the light around us. When this gland that produces melatonin is exposed to light, it suppresses the release of melatonin. So when you don't have as much melatonin, your brain knows to wake up. Levels of melatonin are minimal during the day when we're outside, out and about in sunlight, when the sun is up. And then as the sun goes down into the evening, these levels increase, which tells our brain, hey, it's time to go to bed, right? So why then could melatonin impact us, right? That's the question. Well, doc, if it's going to help me fall asleep, if it's going to help my kid fall asleep, why is it bad? Side note, my children just came back from camp, and my daughter mentioned that one of her roommates at the dorm had melatonin with her. And she said, Mom, you wouldn't believe it. She took 5 of those gummies. And even I know that's not right. Anything that we take, be it a medication, be it a drug, be it a supplement, a vitamin, there's dosages that need to be respected, right? It's what's right for your body, how much your body needs. So factors such as age, whether we're doing shift work, are we jet lagged, lifestyle, habits, all of this can impact our body and actually either keep it from producing melatonin or help it to produce more melatonin. And this inability to produce enough of the sleep hormone, melatonin, can be one of the causes of trouble falling asleep at night. So if we have trouble falling asleep at night, a lot of people consider over-the-counter melatonin supplement and either forget to or don't consider that it could have side effects. Melatonin supplements, or at least what I've seen in stores, comes in many forms, right? It comes in gummies, which seems to be the most common. Chewable tablets, I've seen pills, I've seen the liquid form of melatonin. One thing to know is there could be 2 types of these supplements. We could either have natural or synthetic. And while the natural form of melatonin does tend to sound like the better option. Some researchers, some doctors say that this type of melatonin can bring its own set of issues because it is derived from the pineal gland of animals, right? So then they're worried about what else is that transmitting to us. And the synthetic form is man-made. And it's made to have the same structure of natural melatonin. So there are studies that show taking melatonin short-term as well as long-term can have its own set of side effects. Overall, melatonin by itself may be safe. What we do want to keep in mind is whether we're using it short-term or long-term, what dosage you're taking, and so very important, does it interfere with any of the other medications that you may be taking on a daily basis? So adverse effects, the side effects of melatonin that are reported that I have seen, read, heard include daytime sleepiness. If you wake up with that hangover-like feeling after having taken melatonin the night before, you know what I'm talking about. Dizziness is fairly common. Headaches can be another sign that, it's a side effect that you're experiencing because of the melatonin. Nausea is one. Irritability is another one. And just the hangover seems to be the most common one. Other side effects that have been reported include feelings of depression while taking melatonin, worsening of bleeding for those with bleeding disorders. That has been reported as well. Folks that are taking certain blood pressure medications, we have heard, or it's been reported, increased blood pressure as another side effect. And it may also increase the risk of seizures in those that have a seizure disorder. What about melatonin for kids is what I get asked most commonly. There isn't much evidence. There isn't much research or studies out there that shows the long-term effects or long-term safety of melatonin in children or adolescents. We also don't have any human studies that shows the effects of melatonin in women that may be pregnant or breastfeeding, which is why it's so important. If this is something that you're considering, please talk to your doctors, please talk to your pediatricians, please talk to your MDs before you consider taking any supplements such as this. A very common question I get asked is, can I take melatonin every day? We need to know what every day looks like for you. What are the effects that it's going to have? Is it an indication? Is it safe? Making sure that you're having these conversations with your MDs. Trying other ways to boost your melatonin naturally, helping your body produce its own melatonin, eating a healthy diet, getting enough time outside in the sunlight, exercising, limiting blue light exposure 2 hours before bedtime, practicing good sleep hygiene. These are things that we want to make sure we are looking at and we're considering before you consider adding any supplements to your everyday what you take for your health, wellness protocol. Make sure we are considering this. As always, guys, remember what I said. Make sure you are talking to your doctors before starting any supplements. And practicing good sleep hygiene is key. I hope this helped answer some of the questions that have been coming up. As always, leave a review if you have friends, family that could benefit from this information. Make sure to share this with them. I will see you guys next time.